Boy, you man thought I'd bottle it, innit? Nah, that was just a shambles. I'm not gonna lie. I can't even lie to you. That was an absolute shambles watching that. And there's nothing more you can expect from a Newcastle performance than that. That is just shocking to see. Like, barely laced the glove on these guys. Like, I know it's Chelsea and you're thinking, okay, Chelsea will come to play. They spent money this season, yada, yada, yada. But to get beaten like that at home, it's just absolute trash, in my opinion. Like, this shows what level of management we've got. What we had, barely 2 shots on target. Sean Longstaff and a move that Hayden ended up kicking over the bar. Like, in the second half? Come on, man. I can't deal with this all the time, man. Steve Bruce has just got to go for me. And you're probably thinking, you know what, calm down, all the rest of it. It's against Chelsea. But look, I can't just look. The only saving grace is that we're not allowed to go to game, because if you're going to be honest, that can't run. And people might call us deluded magpies, deluded Geordies, and all the rest of it. That was shocking to see. Shout out to you guys in the stream already. Don't worry, these guys will come in soon, I'm sure of it. Afternoon, Andrew, as well to you, bro. Just as expected today, mate. Look, I know Chelsea are no joke. You know, they're not gonna obviously lay down to us at all. But at the same time, like, come on now. It even showed what we can do if we strung a couple of passes together. Do you know what I mean? Like, we actually went for it barely in the second half. Barely, I say, when we put 2 or 3 passes together. But the rest of it was just literally parking the bus. Why are we parking the bus at home? We've got nothing to lose. It's a free hit, as they say. It just baffles me. Shout out to you, Shawsy, saying as well, Bruce needs to go. Look, I think his time's up. And I know he's not going to go, because I know Mike Ashley's got a nice little yes man that's going to do what he's told and all the rest of it now. On a nice, tidy sum of money. He's not on Rafa money for sure. Can't be with that sort of management. For sure he can't be. And if he is, then that's baffling. But for me now, to see that sort of performance there, it's absolutely shocking. I'm going to go for a couple more before I let these guys in. I can see you coming in late, you two. I'm going to be like a bad teacher, like, yo, come in late, you two. Anyway, yeah, you keep shaking your head, Fumbi. We was defending for a 1-0 defeat. Not even non-league teams do that against Premier League teams. Liam, I feel your pain. Right, let me bring these two in. Go on, I can't keep them waiting any longer. I'm bringing you guys in, but I'm still going on, so you can keep quiet.
Jackson 5 Afro.
Hey, listen here, you ASM. Jonathan saying, embarrassment of performance, 9% position after 30 minutes. Madness. 9%! 9%, man. They're here now. 9%, boo-boo. 9%. Oh, man. Very shit from Bruce's standards. This is Newcastle United. A bit of pride and fight, for fuck's sake. Yes, I'm going to swear. I don't care about monetization at this point. Short term, we should bring in Eddie Howe. Yeah, we discussed that already, bro. I know. Was negative from the start and set the tone. I know. Again, we just think we're coming out of our penalty area. Look, I'm coming to you two in a minute. Don't worry. Your time will come. Don't you worry, you two. I'm just going through all of these.
Carry on.
Saying Chelsea is an excuse. We got embarrassed by Brighton and they don't have the quality of Chelsea. Look, I know, because Brighton come to town, they can dick on us 3-0. Chelsea come to town, they're 1-0 up within 10 minutes. And they didn't really have to come out of second gear. Irish tune, it's not like Chelsea were perfect. Every time we pressed, they made mistakes, shit performance. I agree. When we actually put some pressure on them, they actually fumbled. Do you know what I mean? We actually had them on the ropes like for 2 minutes out of 90. Well, we still got comments coming through. Tony Hunter saying we were playing a flat back 5 for a large part of that. I didn't even know that was a thing. He's making his own formations as it goes along, man. Like sorry, Bruce is just, in fact, going back to Rafa's probably just shaking his hand to him like, I worked 4 years on this for you to come and fuck this up within like 2. Anyway, what will take to get shot of the cabbage? Probably for him to leak Mike Ashley's nudes, maybe. I don't know. That's the only thing that can probably get rid of Steve Bruce, because otherwise he's going to be here for a very long while. Right, you two come in while I eat my plantain. Start with you, Fumbi. I genuinely have got plantain as well. There you go.
Yeah, man. It's plantain. Don't call it plantain. What's wrong with you?
Plantain, man. Caribbean.
So I think you guys are just underestimating what Bruce is doing here. 9% possession after 30 minutes is part of the plan. I don't know if you've seen Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee. It's called The Art of Fighting Without Fighting.
Wemby's on the wind-up today, bro. He's on the
That's what Bruce is doing. Don't go nowhere near the ball, and we're gonna win the game. It's genius. I don't know if you've seen such tactics before. I said it before the game. I said if we sit back, we're not gonna get anything out of this. Chelsea didn't get out of second gear. They didn't feel pressured. They were making so many mistakes because they've had it so easy. They didn't even know what competition was anymore. And rather than us capitalizing those mistakes, because there's no inspiration to play passing football or intelligent football, when those mistakes happen, there's no understanding. We give the ball away. We play a stupid pass. The football is uninspiring. So you have players. I don't blame any player today. They were all amazing. It's the manager who refuses to inspire them. They cannot do anything when there's nothing to do. You can't make gold out of trash. You just can't.
I'm reading before I get into UP. I'm gonna read out some of these comments because they're funny as well. Liam saying, "I live in London, which we can all relate to." In fact, sorry, no, you can't, Pete. Sorry, but I live in London, and if fans were allowed in, I would have to travel to Newcastle just to see 20% possession. That's one. Liam saying he's loving the sarcasm from you, Fumbi, as always. Dino's laughing. And then this one, before we get on to Pete, Fumbi's living up to the first three letters of his name. Fun. Oh, there we go. Right, let's get on to Pete. What are you saying, Pete? Go on.
What is it to say, really? It was just shit. It was just a shit game. A game that actually, on the basis of that 90 minutes, we should have got something from. And you can argue it all you want. We had at least 4 good chances in that game to take something. So, it was disappointing. It's shit, but we still could have took something. Look, there's all this talk about Bruce getting sacked, blah, 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 blah. It ain't going to happen until we're in the bottom 3. It's as simple as that. As soon as we've touched down bottom 3, panic's going to set in, and Mike Ashley will make that decision. Do I want us to get in the bottom 3? No, I don't. But do I want Bruce to go? Hell yeah. He needs to go. Because I tell you what, until he goes, right, we're going to still see shit performances like that week in, week out. No matter whether we're playing Chelsea, or no matter whether we're playing Fulham, no matter whether we're playing Leeds or Sheffield United, we will see performances like that week in, week out. Because Steve Bruce systematically and tactically does not know how to set a team up in 2020. It's as simple as that. And we can argue it and we can make points and this and that, and we can delve into it as deep as we want. That is the basis of it. Steve Bruce is the problem. We said it before, and I'll say it again. Steve Bruce has got no excuses this season. He's got the players. He's got the squad, right? He's had money spent. He's got everything there he needs to say that this is his team and this is the way he wants to play. What has he done? Reverted back to a Rafa Benitez system and made that system worse. He's not made it better. He's reverted back to a Rafa Benitez system that was, yes, not very entertaining or pleasing on the eye, but was difficult to break down, didn't concede many goals, and picked up results. He's gone back to a system that concedes more possession, more chances against his team, and we're actually performing a lot worse in that system now. So let me
just get into this team, bro, because again, you mentioned some really good points there, but looking at this lineup now that we've got on screen right now, like, should we be performing like we did like that? Because again, it's not a bad lineup. It's not actually genuinely not a bad lineup. You've got ASM in there. Yeah, you could argue Joe Linton up top. Obviously, Wilson was rested for this game. But again, if you're looking at that lineup, it's got investment. It's got the previous regime under Rafa. It's still got a blueprint on it. So should we like
Why is Jacob playing? Why is Jacob playing?
But look, we can talk all about that. And all about the individual players. You take Joe Linton out that team and put Callum Wilson there. Nobody's moaning about that team. Nobody is complaining about that starting lineup, right? With a change of Joe Linton and Callum Wilson. Callum Wilson is obviously streets ahead in terms of a striker, but he's a better player clearly. But the system wouldn't have changed. The way we played, and the way we set up wouldn't have changed. We've saved Callum Wilson today.
Yeah,
we've saved him from injury because I guarantee him not playing. Right,
he'd have pulled up after 10 minutes.
Of course he would have. Of course he would. It regardless of the result and the performance. The only thing Bruce has done good today is by not playing Callum Wilson. That is it.
That is it.
The only thing that's positive.
You see, when Miggy came on, we have a player. We have a player in Miggy, and you're bringing him on. We have a player. Jacob Murphy's not ready. He's not. He doesn't make the right decisions. But it doesn't even matter because whatever Bruce puts out doesn't matter. They're uninspired. Longstaff, there's a player there. He's not getting anything out of him. ASM does the same thing every game, and you can't seem to be able to coach him. You just can't. So it's just pointless. Like Pete said, we could have had Callum Wilson on today. He'd have pulled up after 10 minutes after chasing everybody and nothing. Just nothing. Timo Werner literally walked through our whole team. Nothing. Just walked through it. Nothing. This is what McManaman said. They won so easily today. A team that didn't even have to be good to beat us. They didn't have to be good. That wasn't even their best even.
Yeah, but Steve McManaman's been up Bruce's arse the whole 90 minutes, but then says, Chelsea were easy today at the end of the game. It's a load of rubbish, man.
All of them are. They're snagging off Miggy's agent. Meanwhile, I'm thinking to myself, the agent's not an idiot, though. He's seeing what's going on here. This is terrible.
Look,
he's doing right by the player, and I kind of, as much as it annoys me, I would probably do the same thing. Like if I'm seeing Miguel Almiron and such a talent, still young, playing in a Newcastle team under this guy, like I'm sure. Listen, under Rafa, correct me if I'm wrong, but I didn't hear no talks from Miggy's agent. Nothing. No disruption or anything like that. No, he's wanting away in the next window. But when it comes down to Bruce and he's getting either played defensive midfield or not getting played at all, of course he's going to start coming out and stuff. I mean, before we get on, I just want to read outside. One second. I don't want. Look, Liam said I don't know where our next win is coming from, and I'm including West Brom and Fulham at home in December. Imagine saying that as a Newcastle fan. Sorry to disrespect Fulham and West Brom, but why are we? That's us fearing West Brom and Fulham. Like this is.
I think we'll take them. I don't think we'll take Villa though, but them. I'm not worried about them because I actually believe we have enough individual talent when we're playing a poor team to beat them. It's when we're playing a team who's close to us or a bit better than us that we don't show quality.
No, I think the opposite, mate. I think when we play teams in and around us, we still struggle. And then the big teams, barring today, obviously, we turn up for games for some reason, but we can't do it against the ones that are level with us or below us. It baffles me because again, if you look at the team again, let me bring up the team again just for one more time, just to show. Look, if you look at the team again, that's investment in there. ASM, Jacob Murphy, we still spent 12 million on him. Sean Longstaff was getting linked to Man United when he first came through. Isaac Hayden was back. Jamal Lewis, he spent 15 mil on. Lascelles, Clark, Fernández, that's a solid back three. Under Rafa, that was doing bits. Then we look at the bench, you got Almiron, your boy Hendrick, obviously. Shelby was still on the bench as well. Carroll, like, we shouldn't be going out like that. Fair enough, if we get beaten, we get beaten. But to get beaten like that, we're not even doing anything, guys. Anything. Sorry, but that's woeful.
Pete, you're on mute, mate. You're on mute.
I was going to say that. No, look, none of us know where the next win's coming from. None of us do. Okay, because we can't look on paper and say we're going to win that. We're going to win that because we don't know what team we're going to put out. We don't know what style we're going to play. We don't know what type of performance we're going to get from our team. We don't know. You know, Leeds know how they play. They've got a style. We know they're going to play a certain way. Sheffield United, for all their bad start of the season, still have a method and a way they're going to play. So do West Brom. They all have a style and a way in which they're going to play. We don't. And that is the fundamental issue. But I actually agree with I agree with Fordy with what he was saying. The anomaly last year was us, because we went and played Man U and Tottenham and Chelsea and Wolves and got something from those games. We either got wins or draws. We can't bank on that every season. We can't say our 40 points are going to come from beating Chelsea at home, or beating Man United, or beating Tottenham, or getting a draw from Man City like we did last season. We can't bank on that. But the things that we didn't do last season is beat the teams in and around us, where we drew 0-0 at home to Fulham and probably should have lost. You know what I mean? We lost to Watford away from home. You know what I mean? Like, we drew at home as well. That's 9 points there we should have been picking up, and we didn't. And that's the problem. Is that I'm saying, I've been saying, look, the Chelsea game today was a bonus, but we need to be winning the games that are coming up, the teams in and around us. But there's no guarantees that's going to happen. We just need to hope that the players that we need on the pitch are going to be fit enough to be starting those games, and that would give us half a chance of winning those games. But there's no guarantee. There is no guarantee whatsoever. And it doesn't matter what players are on the pitch. It doesn't matter what formation we play, with the mentality of the manager. It's always going to be the same. Now, going back to Almiron, right? Almiron he played well when he came on today. I thought he did all right. And there was arguments of why he should have started. And he shouldn't have started, because he literally came back Thursday night, Friday morning, and he'd only had half a training session. So I understand why he didn't play, but ultimately, if he was motivated and happy at the club, he'd come back when he got suspended. He wouldn't have stayed in Paraguay for another game and watch the team play on the sidelines, and then fly home 3 days later. He'd have been home straight away, preparing for the game, a big game against Chelsea. Now, we could argue about the agent, and the agent was amateurish in the way he went about it. There are better ways that an agent could have gone about it, but still made his point. However, it says that he's had enough. Almiron's had enough. He has had enough, not of the club, not of being around the club or the players or the city. He has had enough of Steve Bruce and playing under the rubbish tactics, the unentertaining tactics, the lack of attacking intent that he puts in front of that squad. And he's had enough. And it won't be long before St. Maximin has had enough. And it won't be long before Callum Wilson and Ryan Fraser have had enough. And they'll all go off, and they'll find a new team, and they'll play attacking football, and they'll showcase their abilities. And it's as simple as that. The fundamental thing is that Steve Bruce needs to leave. And the quicker Mike Ashley actions that, the better it is for us as fans watching that absolute drab, awful football week in, week out. But also, it's the better for Mike Ashley, because Mike Ashley is going through a legal dispute at the moment to try and sanction the sale of his club. How is he going to demand 340 million for a team that are in a relegation battle? So it all links in. It all links in, and the key is Bruce has to go.
Mate. Just 1 second, mate. So Andrew saying Chelsea bosses today, just like Southampton did 2 weeks ago. Werner could have scored 4. Irish Tune saying that performance wouldn't have beat West Brom, and that's the truth. Dino saying, what is Bruce working on, especially the attacking elements we could do? We could be deep in the Chelsea half, and somehow in a few passes he's back to Darlow madness. I agree with that. Liam saying Messi would struggle in this team. He's not wrong. Miggy would suit a team like Leeds. Cruel to be kind saying, imagine if Havertz and Pulisic had been playing for them as well. Oh my God, I forgot them two weren't even playing. Tony Hunter saying we played like under 13s, playing against under 18s, out-muscled, outplayed, less stamina and less tactical awareness. The Irish too. Steve McMahon was talking so much shit today. So many contradictions in his statements. Yeah, he's proper up his ass. Liam in UFC is saying we've got the talent against Newport and we struggled, and Newport are in League 2. We've got a Chelsea fan in here saying I'm a Chelsea fan but respect. I don't know why you're respecting us, boy, because we were terrible. On paper, we've got a top 10 team. I'm not even too sure about that one now. A good manager would get us in the top 10. Liam saying the Irish Tune saying that 2-0 victory against West Ham feels so far away. Christmas pictures could see us slide down the table.
The Burnley win looks so far away. The Everton win looks like it was a million years ago. They all do. because we just put rubbish performances in the week after.
I mean, look at it. Look at their team. I'm just having a look at their starting lineup as well. So Mendy, James, Zuma, Rudiger, Chilwell, Kante, Kovacic, Mount. Ziyech had a worldy game. Abraham got on the score sheet, and Verma.
He didn't even have a worldie. He didn't even have his best game. He didn't even have his best game.
None of them played well. None of them played well. I'm sorry. None of them played well, guys. None of those Chelsea
They didn't
players
get a second
well.
game. They didn't get a second game.
Any other team in the league that plays them again, plays that team and their performance today, they get something from the game.
Easy.
Joe Cole will talk about how great Chelsea are and how well they played and blah, 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 blah. Top of the league, yada, 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 whatever. I don't give a shit, right? They did not play well today. They were gifted 3 points. They will not have an easier game all season. They will not have any. In fact, I tell a lie. They will when we go to Stamford Bridge. That is the only easy game that they'll have, other than today. And I'm not even saying it as a joke. I'm saying it as the truth and facts. Right, the way we set up today was not good enough, and we literally laid down for them.
Yeah, there you go, man. I mean, look, it's a difficult one to take, man, because look, I can accept defeat. We've been there before, but when you're accepting defeat in that manner, like, what is there to play for? What is there to look forward to? What games?
But that's exactly what was going to happen. I knew he was going to do that. I knew he was going to say they're Chelsea. They've got all these star players. We have to do damage limitation. It's stupidity. He's not a manager. He's just what is he? He's a coach. You know, he should be coaching school teams.
I think he's a fraud, to be honest.
Yeah, he's just not. He's not good enough for Newcastle. He should be in the Championship or League One max.
Yeah. He's riding his luck very, very well at the moment, because he can still live off that cup run from last season. He can still live off the fact that we're mid.
He can't live off any of that, though.
No, but
the thing is this, though.
But not
we didn't win anything. So no, but yeah, that's not what we want. That's not what we want. I don't want no one to live off of we got lucky in that cup run. The one when we played a team that was any quality, we were always going to go out. The same as this one. We got lucky. We've not played any team of repute. We're about to play Brentford. We probably beat them, but the moment we play a team that can actually pass the ball, we're out. We're not a good team. So he can use that as some kind of safety net as he wants. The facts of the matter are this: as long as Bruce is in our club, we're not going to move forward. We're going to be riding our luck till we get in deep waters. That's what's going to happen with Bruce. We're not going to have a Europe. He's not going to get a good season going. This is the first time he's lost back-to-back this season. That's why he's been able to, run his mouth a bit, because we'd win one, lose one, then win the next one or draw. This time we've lost 2 games back to back. We're about to go to Villa Park, and Villa are not going to play us on some. They're going to come at us because they've got the ballers to do it. And we can lose 3 in a row, and then it's starting to look like the picture we've all been talking about.
I'm going to read out a couple more comments before we get into one. This one made me laugh. So Tony Hunter saying, I would like Fordy and Pete to switch places. You can see the transition in Fumbi's head. So I was like about 6 or 7 months ago. Now I'm at this stage, and I'm looking to get to Fumbi's.
That's hilarious.
That is funny, Tony. I'll give you that one. I like that one. Shout out to James as well. 13 years of Ashley being robbed of a massive takeover for our club, City, and BR ruining football. It's just left me with a distaste in my mouth about football. Jonathan saying Bruce was putting sleeping pills out of business. Oh, I totally agree with you that one. And Liam saying we should have lost at Newport, and Brentford has quality to beat us. Now, I want to talk to you about a potential problem, not even a potential problem, a problem. Now, we talked about Steve Bruce not getting the best out of players, and I think he's actually bringing down some of his signings. That's Jamal Lewis and St. Maximin, because Jamal Lewis, had no protection. He was basically just left bare, and that's because he had St. Maximin in front of him. St. Maximin ain't getting tracked back. So again, if you're going to play Jamal Lewis in this formation, you've got to help him out, because as soon as you're playing against an attacking team like Chelsea, you're going to get, well, I'm not going to say those sort of words, but you're going to get ruined, basically. So what are we going to do about that situation with Jamal Lewis? And again, I feel like ASM is either getting frustrated and he's regressive because he's got no help, basically.
You said track back from where?
Well, when
like,
ASM
from the halfway line.
Easy run,
like how much is he tracking back? But we don't get forward to track back. Track back from the only thing he has to worry about is how far he has to run to counter attack. Track back to where? The reason he can't track back is by the time we've done a counter attack and he's run himself into nowhere, it's a long way back on the counter. This is not about him not tracking back. This is about a man who doesn't know how to set a team up. This is tactical knowledge.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
So there's nothing we can do with Jamal Lewis in ASM. Nothing. We don't track back. We sat back today. We enjoyed the view. Look at him passing the ball.
You know what? I don't actually think Jamal Lewis played bad today. I thought he played okay. I thought whenever he got the ball, he looked across the ball in. I think whenever St. Maximin got the ball on the left, you always see him try to bomb forward and try to be that overlap. But then that's down to poor distribution, because there's a couple of times that St. Maximin should have put him in and he didn't.
He didn't. He played one back heel pass that he overcooked. Sorry, Pete, man.
Yeah.
I agree with you, man.
Go on. No, carry
on.
No,
I agree with you. There was a couple of times he did do his job. There was a couple of times he did overlap and he didn't give it to him. Then one time he gave him that back heel that he overcooked.
If we're expecting him to be dominating and controlling the game, he's not against Chelsea. But if he plays like that against Palace and Villa and West Brom and Fulham, he'll be a problem. Like I'm not worried about Jamal Lewis. I'm worried about the system that's set up for him to be able to showcase his abilities. I think today he had more license to be able to do that. I don't think he was the worst. The ones I'm worried about in regressing are the likes of St. Maximin, who doesn't seem like the same player. I mean, my guy should have had 2 goals in the first half, both times cut inside and took an absolute age to hit the ball. And actually on the replay for the second one,
it was going well wide.
It was going well wide anyway. How was he managed to miss the target?
It's going sky high.
The fact that he was going so wide actually got us a corner, because it was the guy on the other side that actually deflected the ball for a corner. It was baffling. He
Lascelles played well today.
Lascelles, until he got injured, did all right, made some good tackles, but who knows how long he's going to be out for now. With a potential knee injury. How long is he going to be out for? So, Jeff Hendrick is done. In my opinion, I don't think he's under Bruce. He's not coming back from that. From those poor performances that he's been having, and quite rightly,
did he
he's
start?
on the bench. No, he's on the bench, and quite rightly. But the point I'm saying is that you can't expect Bruce to coach him back to good form. So, in my opinion, he's done. He's done. He needed to hit the ground running.
One game,
West Ham, first game of the season, he ain't played well since. So the guy's done.
Man said coach him to good form.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So look, I mean, you do worry that they're going to get worse, but you know, 1 or 2 of those players have played all right recently. So there's still some hope left. Whatever hope there's left.
I thought Shaw was okay, apart from the goal. He was trying to pass the ball, trying to move the ball forward, but his defensive duty.
Did you see when he nearly gifted a goal to Timo Werner? The guy took an age just to clear the ball. The guy nicked it off him, and luckily Clark came to the rescue.
Hey, Pete, when Timo Werner did that, I said to myself, this team is saying to us, please score. They're actually asking us to score. Yeah. Because they're shamming about now.
He couldn't have done much more, or he could have. He could have put the ball in the net himself.
Yeah.
I mean, he couldn't have done much more than that.
He wasn't confident himself, because he had been missing a couple of chances. He was getting outside, so he wasn't confident of the curl. That's how much they weren't that great on us. So there was no reason to just lay down like that. And that's all I said, Pete. I didn't want us to go there and give them 6-0 or 4-0. I just didn't want us to look like idiots, look like we know how to play football. And it's just dragging us, man. It's dull. It's terrible.
And this is the thing, is that I just can't see how it's going to get any better. The only way I get any sort of positivity, I think we're away at Palace next week, that we turn up and we put performance in and we put them to the sword. That's the only way. No, is it really next? Sorry.
We got Villa next.
It's either Villa or Palace. I'm not too sure which one, but it's whether we can go to teams like that and really put them to the sword.
Sorry, I just was going away just to get some fixtures, just to kind of back up some of
No,
this.
man, you went to call Bruce.
I'm just going to read out some comments while I'll get the fixtures up. But yeah, so James saying Spurs deserve to score 5 goals, same with Southampton and Chelsea today. We rode our luck so much, and it's going to come crashing down like Geordies have been saying. Liam saying Wolves should have beaten us by a few goals. Liam's commenting about Pete's kids in the back, saying, bet the kids I can hear in the background can organise a team better than Bruce.
Yeah, it's my little boy, bless him. I might have to shoot in a minute because he wants me to go and play with him.
No worries. Arshan saying, first half ASM should have finished one of his chances. Good question by Arshan again, saying here, would you go to a back four? We'll answer that in a second. ASM looked tired and, to be honest, a little disheartened, and he isn't the sort of player who should be tracking back. I think Lewis would play a lot better with Richie in front of him. That's not a bad shout. Feel sorry for Darlow. He's actually having good games, but he can't save everything. Need to give him some protection. And James is playing for a takeover. Let's go back to this question, though, about would you go to a back four? Answers even.
It doesn't matter.
I said it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Do what you want. It just doesn't matter. Bruce cannot do anything. He just can't do anything with that team. He just can't.
You know, for me, is absolutely right. It doesn't matter, but actually, the reality is, a back four we concede more goals. It's as simple as that. We would have conceded even more goals going to back four against that team today. A back three just what it does, it just cancels out everything that they have in attacking intent. It gets more men in our box to be able to clear the ball and to kind of make it difficult for attacking teams. A back four, I think we turned to a back four against Man United in the 86th minute and ended up conceding 3 goals, or 2 or 3 goals late on. We just concede goals for fun. I think the first time we played a back four under Bruce was away at Leicester and we lost 5-0. So I think you know, there was those performances and those results kind of tell you the story really. So yeah, a back four is not going to cut it. Not with Bruce and not under his stewardship.
If you notice, this is Bruce all season. When we win, he doesn't change a thing. When we lose, he changes it. When that team wins, he continues. When that team loses, he completely changes it. This is a man who has no idea. Yeah. The team that lost today is not going to play the next game.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what formation, it doesn't matter what team we play. It doesn't matter whether we need to change the formation in the system to combat another team. It doesn't matter if that team won, they start. And that's it.
That's Bruce.
So just getting the next fixtures up. Palace, Villa, West Brom, Leeds, Fulham, and then obviously that cup game against Brentford as well. Won't worry about Man City too much.
Those 6 games will define where our season goes. That's how important those next 6 games are. They will define where we are as a team going into the season. If we get through those 6 games and we're on, and we should be potentially on 20 plus points by the time that we play Brentford, then I would look at that and say, yeah, we'll probably be okay this season. If we're sitting anything under 20 points after those games have been played, I will say we're in for a dogfight, big time. We need to get serious points on the board.
I remember seeing those fixtures when we beat Everton, and I said to myself, "Oh, what a lovely running! I mean, who wouldn't want that? Teams like we could beat." Since the Southampton game, I'm just thinking to myself, we're going to lose a couple and we might win a couple. That's all I can think of.
Yeah, I mean, look at team Liverpool in like near Christmas time. Man City and Liverpool. We need to get.
Not going to be a Merry Christmas. Not going to be a Merry Christmas this year.
I tell you what, with Palace, we're going to have to fight, man. They're physical. They've got Zaha who can do a madness, but they're going to be very physical. For us to get that goal, we just have to be. It's going to be a dogfight game. It's going to be an ugly game. We just have to play ugly now. You know, that's just all I can say. We don't have flair. We don't utilize flair. We don't pass well. I don't even see what we do. I don't think. Do we do 1-2s? Do we even do that? I don't know what we do. I don't know what we do.
I mean, we
Right,
tried
boys,
it.
I'm gonna have to shoot. Okay, I'm gonna have to shoot now.
That's fine.
We'll catch up.
It's going to
All
wrap
right.
up anyway. But yeah, thanks you guys for paying attention to this monstrosity of a game, shall I say? And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys. Peace.
All right.